I didn't see the shot. I heard it, and then I came back around and I saw that he was on the ground.
Okay.
And it was freaking out.
Yeah.
Lori Vallow Daybell, also known as Doomsday Mom, is a woman who murdered her children, her husband's ex-wife, and was involved in other murders in a chilling saga that gripped the nation. The sudden disappearance of Tylee Ryan, 16, and Joshua J.J. Vallow, 8, in September 2019 sent shockwaves throughout the country. While these two young lives vanished without a trace, their mother appeared strangely carefree, even going so far as to marry her new husband, Chad Daybell, on a Hawaiian beach. The search for the missing children led authorities down a twisted path, eventually uncovering a dark secret. After an agonizing 9-month search, the children's bodies were discovered buried in a pet cemetery on Daybell's property in Idaho. This shocking revelation was only the beginning of a harrowing case that exposed a web of murders, unexplained deaths, and chilling cult beliefs centered around the notion of killing zombies. The haunting narrative reached a crucial point on May 12, 2023, as the 49-year-old mother of 3 faced justice in Ada County Court in Boise, Idaho. Found guilty of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and grand theft, she stood accused of causing the deaths of her own 2 children. Furthermore, she was convicted of conspiring to murder Daybell's first wife, Tammy, at the age of 49. This is the chilling tale of a mother's betrayal, the loss of innocent lives, and the eerie intertwining of love, death, and an unfathomable cult obsession. Let's take a look at Lori Vallow's interrogation about the death of Charles.
I know Lori's your first name, right?
Yeah.
L-A-U-R.
L-O-R-I.
Okay. And then what's your last name?
Vallow. V-A-L-L-O-W.
And your date of birth? And your phone number? And you live at the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I know this sounds silly, but it's probably the easiest way to start, is just to tell me what happened. And then, so you can start what makes the most sense to you, and we'll just work our way through, and I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions just to kind of clarify.
Sure.
So I know you talked to the initial patrol officer.
And he just got information. He didn't say anything.
So yeah, if you can just kind of tell me kind of what happened. It sounds like some of this may have started last night or something along those lines.
Right.
So start where you think it makes the most sense.
Despite the grim circumstances surrounding the interrogation, the detective maintained a friendly demeanor, initially engaging with Lori and leveraging her charm to extract preliminary information. It is important to note that this interrogation occurred on the same day that Lori's ex-husband, Charles Vallow, tragically lost his life at the hands of her brother, Alex Cox. Throughout the proceedings, Lori's demeanor remained remarkably nonchalant, displaying a surprising lack of concern. Cox, in his defense, claimed that he shot Vallow in self-defense, citing Vallow's alleged attempt to attack him with a baseball bat. The situation becomes even more complex when considering that 4 months before his death, Charles Vallow had filed for divorce, expressing deep concerns for his own safety and that of their children. He had even contacted the police, reporting Lori's threats to kill him and her apparent belief in being a deity, preparing for a divine return. Charles had desperately pleaded with the authorities to intervene and address his wife's mental health, but at the time, she had been deemed mentally competent.
Do you remember about what time we got there?
He said he'd be there 7:30, but it was more like 7:40-ish
Okay.
or 7:35, I don't know.
Okay.
But I remember looking at the clock, and he wasn't there at 7:30, and he's usually Mr.
Yeah.
on
Punctual?
time. Yes. So I was like, okay. And then JJ was like, oh, Dad. And then he was like, Mommy, and like ran to me and like holding me. He's like, you're not taking me to school. And I was like, it's okay, Dad, can just drive you to school. It's not a big deal. You know, just trying to make it whatever.
Calm.
Yeah, calm. And then he was just being real smirky and real like jerky, you know, to me. And I was like, ignoring him, whatever. And so he was like, I'm
And
leaving.
your brother lives there with you?
No,
Okay.
he had stayed with me last night because I was worried he was going to come over and
Okay.
cause trouble with me.
Okay.
And just wanted someone else there, like my
Yeah.
brother there, because I trust my brother. And it's been a long story. Like, I had to go live at my brother's when he took JJ, and, you know, he's just been difficult. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got JJ stuff ready. And he was like, well, and he's like this about timing. He's like, I'm leaving in 20 minutes because it's like 15 minutes to the school, and like you can't get there early. They don't open the gates until 8.
Lori said that Charles, who was typically punctual, was running late that day and had intended to take the children to school. However, feeling apprehensive, Lori called her brother to be present, seeking assurance and safety in his presence. She emphasized her trust in her brother, despite the gravity of the situation. With her ex-husband being shot in their home that very day, Lori's peculiar behavior of laughing and joking demonstrated a striking lack of concern, to say the least.
Got in the car. This is his MO, right? He always leaves something in the house and comes back. He never leaves the first time. I always expect my husband to come back into the house, right? So I guess he had left his phone on the counter.
So he initially left with the backpack and with JJ? And
So he put them in the car,
Okay.
in the driveway, and then he came back in, right? So I kissed JJ goodbye. He came back in, and his phone was on the counter, and I had his phone. And he was like, give me my phone. And I was like, why don't you show me your text that you've been texting, blah, 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 you know, whatever. Because he's like acting really weird, like he's plotting something against me. Like, I'm like, why are you even here? Like, what did you come here for? You know, he's been talking to my other brother, and my brother came into town at the same time last night. And I haven't talked to my brother in a while, my other brother. And I was like, and so he was texting him on the phone when he first got to my house. And I'm like, why are you texting Adam? Like, do you even talk to him? Like, my other brother. And, you know, he's been telling me all these texts, like, you're going down, blah, 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 blah. He's blaming me for our marriage breaking up and my niece getting divorced and my friend getting divorced. He said, I'm a destroyer of families.
Lori made a confession, revealing that she had deliberately kept Charles' phone hostage, instigating the altercation.
And with my grown son.
Like physical how?
Like, got into a physical fist fight with my son when he was 16.
Okay.
And he came after Tylee 2 times in Hawaii.
Okay.
And like went like he was gonna hit her, but then I got in between them.
Uh-huh.
Right.
How old was she when that happened?
Probably 13 and 14.
Okay. So this morning he comes back in and...
He comes back in, I wouldn't give him his phone. He was screaming at me to give him his phone. He was very worried about whatever was on his text that he did not want me to see. And so I was just holding it there, and he was screaming at me. And I was kind of walking towards around the house with it, so he couldn't get it. He's like reaching for it and stuff like that. And so Tylee came out of her room upset, and she had a bat, and she told him to leave her mother alone, like, right? So she was really whatever, and he's screaming at her, don't you hit me with that bat, blah, blah, blah.
Lori admitted to withholding Charles' phone, but it was at this point that the baseball bat entered the picture, becoming the catalyst for Charles' tragic demise. She proceeded to explain that her brother had heard the commotion and arrived on the scene as well.
And then went to like hit Tylee with the bat. And I was right there, they were right there, and my brother grabbed him from behind, like just to stop him from hitting Tylee.
You go like this, like he grabbed him like...
Yeah, from behind, like just kind of to pull him back. And then they got into the thing, and he's hitting him with the bat, and they're on the ground, like grappling around or whatever. And then, I mean, it was all
and he
quickly.
And he hit your brother with the bat while they were grappling and stuff?
Yes, he was hitting him with the bat, like swinging the bat, you know, back and forth, and they were kind of like on the ground, and I was like freaking out trying to go around, knowing JJ was in the car, right? And so then he got up and he had the bat like this towards me, and I was going around the other side to try to just get out of his range where he couldn't hit me. And then I had told Tylee, because she was on the ground, because after he took the bat from her, she fell back. And so I told her, I was like, go get in the car with JJ. And I want JJ coming in to the house, and I wanted her out of the way. I wanted the kids out.
She vividly remembered the altercation that had taken place between Charles and Alex, her own brother.
How was he holding the bat?
Just like that, like backwards.
Like he was swinging, but like swinging it backwards?
Like, he would have swung it backwards at me, not frontwards.
Okay, yeah.
He was a professional baseball player.
Okay.
So, it wasn't a good idea for Tylee to get out of that.
Probably not the...
I mean, he played semi-pro
Yeah.
when he was young. But, yeah, and then I was kind of turned around, and we were all right there in that room, except for the kids had been outside by that time, and I heard the gunshot.
Mm-hmm.
And
so you heard the shot?
mm-hmm.
Did you actually see the shot, or did you just hear it?
I had gone around
Mm-hmm.
to the kitchen to get away from him, and so back around. So I don't know if he went in the house.
I didn't, so I'm like a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, so I didn't see the shot. I heard it, and then I came back around and I saw that he was on the ground.
Okay.
And was freaking out.
Yeah.
The detective inquired whether Lori had witnessed the murder or simply heard it. Lori clarified that she had not actually seen the event unfold. Instead, she had heard the sound of the gunshot.
Did your brother say anything to you at all? Do you remember?
No, we were both just in shock.
Okay.
Like, it was just I went out with the kids just to check on them first, and I was going to come back in maybe, but I didn't. I was like, I just have to get him to school.
Okay.
And call the police, come back, you know.
Did you or your brother say anything at some point about calling the police or calling 911? Do you remember?
Yeah, he called me.
Okay.
And he said, "Are you taking JJ to school?"
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Yeah, we need to call the police." And he said, "Okay."
Okay. So he called you when you didn't come back inside, basically?
Right.
Okay.
Because I was like in the car for a minute, and then I was like, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want JJ to go inside, and I
Okay.
didn't know what to do. And Tylee was freaking out. I was trying to get them away from the scene.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm.
And you may not know this,
Mm-hmm.
so, because I know you heard the shot, do you know at what point your brother had the gun? Do you know if he had it when they got in their first fight, or did he have to go get it, or do you know that at all?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
And do you remember if you ever heard your brother?
I didn't see him ever leave the room.
Okay.
It was so fast. All that was so fast. Like, him on the ground rolling around, and I'm screaming, and
This probably happened in a couple seconds.
yeah, it was like super fast.
And I don't know if you know this or not, does your brother normally carry a gun? Like, I carry a gun everywhere I go.
Right. Like, I know he's a gun person. Like, he
Okay.
has guns and things.
Okay. Did you know that he had one with him
No.
when he came over?
No, but
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did, because
Okay.
he's very, very professional with guns.
Professional. Responsible is usually a good
Right,
but
very responsible.
The chilling behavior exhibited by Lori Vallow only adds to the horror of this tragic story. As of now, everyone present in that house on that fateful morning is no longer alive. It all began on September 8, 2019, when Tylee Ryan was last seen alive with her family in Yellowstone National Park. The following day, Alex Cox's cell phone records place him at Chad Daybell's property for an extended period. A disturbing text message from Daybell to his wife Tammy regarding a shot raccoon buried in their pet cemetery raises suspicions, foreshadowing the darkness that would unfold. On September 22, 2019, J.J. Vallow is spotted for the final time. He attends school in Rexburg, Idaho during the day, and is later seen at Lori Vallow's apartment by her friends, Melanie Gibb and David Warwick. Shockingly, they witness Cox carrying JJ into the apartment, setting the stage for a harrowing turn of events. In an unbelievable twist, Vallow and Daybell exchange wedding vows in Hawaii on November 5th, despite the growing concerns surrounding the disappearance of JJ and Tylee. Their grandparents report being unable to contact the children for months, prompting a search and intensifying the investigation. As the investigation deepens, more unsettling details emerge. Cox's sudden death on December 11, 2019, at the age of 51, reveals signs of a blood clot in his lungs, and the presence of Narcan in his system raises further questions. June 9, 2020, becomes a day of heartbreak as the remains of JJ and Tylee are discovered on Chad Daybell's property. JJ's body, wrapped in duct tape inside a black plastic bag, is concealed near a tree beneath layers of wood paneling. Tylee's remains, dismembered and burned in a fire pit, are found in the pet cemetery nearby. Chad Daybell's arrest and the identification of the children's remains send shockwaves throughout the nation. Initially charged with evidence concealment, Vallow and Daybell ultimately face murder charges. On May 24, 2021, Vallow and Daybell are formally charged with the murders of Tylee, JJ, and Tammy Daybell. The seriousness of their crimes is reflected in the first-degree murder, conspiracy, and grand theft charges filed against them. Ultimately, on May 12, 2023, the verdict is delivered. Vallow is found guilty of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and grand theft, underscoring the tragic fate of her innocent children. The haunting saga of Tylee and JJ serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can exist within human hearts. If you want to watch more of these interrogations, make sure to hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel as I upload them regularly.